Well, now let's talk about headphones because I tell you what, if you are looking for a new set of high quality headphones with the noise cancellation and all the other trimmings thrown in, there are more options on the market now than ever before. 2 years ago, Sony released what I believed at the time to be the world's best noise cancelling headphones, the Mark III model. And I wore them. I wore them all over the world. I wore them on the plane. I wore them on the tube in London, around Europe, in the United States, and they were my perfect traveling companion. But the interesting thing about those headphones was the features that they had built into them were so advanced that the people would not actually realize that it was the feature allowing me to do what I was doing at the time. For example, you'd be talking to a cabin crew officer on the plane and have your hand on the right ear cup and to hear what they were saying playing through the ambient noise. And the cabin crew officer on Qantas said to me, "Look, I bet you are able, like obviously recognizing me from TV or wherever, but I bet you are able to listen to me now, but it's spinning me out, you having your hand on your ear like that. So can you just take your headphones off while I'm talking to you?" I went, "Yeah, that's fine." Um, Geoff Quattromani joins us now to talk about the Mark IVs plus a few other models. How are you, Jeff? Good time to be looking for a new set of headphones.
Look, it really is. I mean, while a lot of us aren't going on airplanes anymore and international travel could be quite a while away, that's really where I used to use over-ear headphones the most. I think
Mm.
for people who, catch public transport, again, a huge value opportunity to wear headphones like this. But in saying that, I've been working from home for a few months and I seem to be wearing over-ear headphones a lot more because I use them for calls, I use them for music, and I can get around the house and do my things because I'm completely wireless as well.
There's some little hacks that you can learn to take advantage of over-ear headphones and make the most of them. For example, one Sony executive that I was talking to, he was on the plane saying, "Oh, mate, on the way over here, we were heading back from Barcelona after Mobile World Congress, and he was saying on the way over here, I tell you, this bloke was snoring and it was almost shaking the plane. He was that loud." And I said, "Well, put your noise cancelling headphones on." He says, "Well, no, I can't do that because they switch off after 2 minutes." I said, "Connect them to your device, put some low classical music on, go into your Spotify or Apple Music, put some low classical music on, really low volume. The headphones will believe that will see that there's some music playing, even though low volume, and they will stay on for hours." So he did that. And coincidentally, there was another bloke lying across the aisle from him that snored like he was a camel with blocked sinuses. And yet this guy all of a sudden didn't hear any of that. But that's one of the little hacks that you don't know about until somebody kind of explains it to you. It really points to the fact, Jeff, that this technology is so more advanced than what we're actually using them for.
Look, it's so true. And even again with this model, you could easily just pair it to your phone and play music and do nothing else. But there is a button on the headphones now that allow you to trigger the Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa as well. So you can actually
Mm.
have your voice assistants built in, provided you're ready to start using them. And you mentioned being able to put your hand on the right cup to open up noise cancelling. The new feature they've added this time is speak to chat, which means that as soon as you start talking to that person who's serving you on the plane, the noise cancelling opens up automatically. So if you do that, you don't even need to put your hand on the cup anymore. Just start talking and that noise cancelling will stop. Whereas a lot of people will think to pause their music, take their headphones off, all that extra thing, you won't need to do that anymore. So you could be walking up to a cafe, leave your headphones on if you really want to, and just start ordering your coffee without doing anything at all.
I do believe, though, once we do start flying again, we're going to have to do a training session with the guys at Qantas to help them to understand that is not a person being rude. If they've got the Mark IVs on, they actually are able to hear. They're in a conversation with you. Well, the other thing about the Mark IVs is that, and this is synonymous with a number of these high-end headphones, that you can actually update the software or firmware on them over time by connecting them to the app. And one of the features we saw with the Mark IIIs, and I'm wondering whether you saw any of this with the Mark IVs, the ability to access Sony's 360 audio experience that they have developed and are continuing to develop with this new model.
That's so true. And sometimes the companion app that comes with a product can be seen as bloatware and something that actually gets in the way. if you don't install the Sony app, you're really missing out on a number of features. And 360 audio is one of them, but also allowing you to automatically adjust the noise canceling on your headphones depending on whether you're walking or whether you're sitting at your desk or even whether you're at home or the office. The headphones can automatically adjust for that. So when I leave home, if I was to walk to the train station, I've got a typical audio setting automatically engaged. When I get on the train, it changes. When I get off the train, it changes again, all automatically. So I can still hear announcements on the train, or I can still hear a car coming by on the street. But when I get to my desk, 100% noise canceling, and I won't hear anything. And all of that intelligence is being built into the app. So again, having that app installed is extremely important to really get the most from these headphones, which, let's be honest, they're not exactly cheap if you are going to make the investment.
I'm a dad, and so are you, Jeff. One of the things about raising children is that children are always going to be children. And when you've got a young child, for example, um, this kind of product can be a lifesaver for the parent because the stress of a crying child is something that you really don't know about until you've experienced it. And your body, the human brain reacts differently to it. You become more stressed, and as we know, when you become more stressed, you make poorer decisions. Your decisions are affected. This kind of product can actually filter through that really high pitch sound, not so you're not hearing it anymore, but it just takes that venom out of the noise of that experience, but also many other high pitched sound experiences as well, right?
It's so true. And look, at the moment, I've got a house next door being built. So as I've been working from home, having noise canceling headphones is so good. So I don't hear that thud or that grind or anything else going on next door. It allows me to actually focus and actually to get my work done. And actually, more importantly, it also helps from a calls perspective as well, because the noise canceling technology in the headphones allows people I'm talking to hear me better, which means it's picking up my voice rather than the construction noise next door. So, the technology in these headphones isn't just for you sometimes, it's actually for the person you're talking to, which benefits everybody.
Lay it out for me. Just say I've already got the Mark threes, and now the Mark fours are out. Am I better off to purchase the Mark threes, which no doubt are a bit cheaper today, or do I stretch and get the Mark fours? And what are the key things that are really going to be different between the two?
Look, I really do think that if you've got the Mark threes, hang on to them, especially if they're still working. There's probably not enough to justify the upgrade. If you are going into noise canceling headphones for the first time, and you're looking for a large pair of headphones like this, consider this model. Consider the Bose 700s, Bowers and Wilkins, the PX7, for example, all around a similar price point. But you do need to pay attention to things that it offers beyond audio. And when you think about this pair, having both voice assistants potentially to be built into the headphones, the smart technology around when you're walking around and how it adapts to the noise around you, and also just that speak to chat feature, which I really like, unless you enjoy doing karaoke, because if you like to sing to the music you're listening to, it actually pauses as soon as you start to sing. So that could be a potential problem that I have discovered. But they are extremely good headphones from Sony. They are one of the brands that you can invest in, and you probably won't need to replace these for a number of years. You'll probably wear out the ear cups before anything else.
Yeah, and that is interesting on that point with the ear cups with the Mark threes. I've been wearing mine consistently for 2 years now. I got them. In fact, I got them like a couple of weeks before they actually launched because we were going to Barcelona. We were going to Berlin for IFA, and they said try these. And I've noticed that the ear cups are consistently performing in the manner that they were when I first got them. And that, look, to be honest, that's probably the first area that we see degrading on a set of headphones through regular use, right?
It really is, and I know that Bose, for example, their cushions tend to actually degrade after around 2 to 3 years, and they do now have a program that allows you to uncup them, and you can take them to a Bose store to get them replaced. So, with the Sony ones, for example, I've heard the same sort of story to you that the quality seems to last quite a bit longer, despite using it every day, for
Mm.
example. So, it is one of the things to pay attention to.
All right. That's the Mark IVs from Sony. They are a sensational piece of kit. Whether you get these or whether you get the Bose, the Sennheiser, the Bowers and Wilkins, do your research. I tell you what, because they are not just a set of headphones. They really are a life enhancement device because the quality of sound that you are listening to and the additional benefit that you get from adding this kind of technology to your life is far and away an improvement on what you could ever expect. So look, some great products around at the moment. Geoff, thanks for joining us to talk about the Mark IVs from Sony. Appreciate your time. We'll chat to you again soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.